The sky turned dark above the strange planet as Leo's ship shook violently. Warning lights flashed red inside the cockpit. His hands moved quickly over the controls, but nothing responded. "Come on. Don't die on me now," Leo muttered. He had been on a solo mission to deliver supplies to a deep space research station. Everything was fine, until a strange signal jammed his ship's system. The controls froze, engines failed, and gravity pulled him toward the surface of an unknown planet. The ship hit the ground hard, scraping across rocky terrain before crashing into a forest of blue-leaf trees. The sound of metal ripping filled the air. Then silence. Hours passed. Leo opened his eyes slowly. His head ached. Blood trickled down his forehead, but he was alive. Sparks flew from the broken control panel beside him. The windshield was cracked, and thick smoke filled the air. He unbuckled his seatbelt, grabbed a small survival kit, and kicked the emergency hatch open. Fresh air rushed in, mixed with the strange scent of sweet flowers and wet earth. Staggering out of the wreckage, Leo looked around. The forest was silent, but alive. Plants glowed faintly in the shade. The sky above was greenish-blue with two suns far apart. This wasn't any planet he had seen in Earth's star charts. He reached for his scanner. No signal, no contact, no idea where he was. Leo sighed. Well, at least I'm not dead. As he took a few steps forward, something rustled in the bushes. He froze. More rustling, then silence again. "Who's there?" he called out, raising a flare gun. From behind the trees, figures stepped out, tall, slender, with skin in shades of lavender and silver. They had large eyes, and their long hair shimmered like metal under the sunlight. They wore armor made of natural materials, bones, vines, stones. They were alien women. Leo counted at least 10 of them, all holding long, curved staffs and strange devices. One of them slowly walked forward. Her eyes were sharp but curious. She studied Leo carefully and said a few words in a language he couldn't understand. Her voice was smooth but firm. Leo raised his hands to show he wasn't a threat. "I'm not here to hurt anyone," he said calmly. The alien woman tilted her head. Then she spoke again, this time in broken English. "You are man." Leo blinked. "Yes, I'm a man. A human." The alien women gasped. They whispered among themselves. Some pointed at him in disbelief. A few even looked fearful. The woman who spoke stepped closer. "No, man. Here. Not many cycles." Leo frowned. "What do you mean?" Before he could ask more, they surrounded him. But they didn't attack. Instead, they signaled for him to come with them. He had no choice. They led him through the forest, deeper into their land. Strange animals watched from the trees. Plants seemed to move slightly as they passed. It was a place full of mystery and quiet danger. After walking for nearly an hour, they arrived at a village hidden in the trees. Homes were built from giant flower-like structures in carved stone. Waterfalls ran through canals between buildings. It was advanced but natural, a mix of technology and nature. The alien women took Leo to a circular building with tall spires. Inside, a throne-like seat stood in the center. An older alien woman, regal and wise-looking, sat upon it. The leader, Leo, stood still as the younger woman spoke in their native language. She pointed at Leo again and again, her voice rising with emotion. The other women around the circle listened closely. Finally, the leader raised a hand. Silence fell. She stared at Leo for a long moment, then spoke in a deep voice, also in broken English. "You are real? Not machine?" Leo nodded. "Yes, I'm human. I crashed here by accident." The leader leaned back, her eyes narrowed. "Long ago. All men died. Our world. Sick. No man lived again. Now you fall from sky." Leo tried to understand. "You mean there are no men on this planet?" The leader nodded slowly. Only women. For many, many cycles. A heavy silence followed her words. Leo looked around. Every face in the room was female. Some were curious, others guarded. None of them had seen a man in years, maybe centuries. He suddenly realized just how rare he was to them. The young alien woman who found him stepped closer and said, "I am Kayla. I speak old words of sky people. I help speak for you." Leo gave a small smile. "Thank you, Kayla. I need help." Kayla nodded. "You stay. Council will decide." Leo's legs felt weak from the crash and the shock. He was led to a room made of smooth wood and soft plant fiber bedding. A gentle light glowed from the ceiling. Kayla gave him a drink, sweet and calming. Before she left, she looked at him and said quietly, "Maybe you are gift." Leo sat down, still trying to process everything. Crashed ship, alien women, a planet with no men, and now they saw him as something important. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but one thing was clear. His life had just changed forever. Leo woke up to the sound of birds he had never heard before. They made a musical call, soft and strange. Sunlight came through a hole in the ceiling above him. The room smelled like sweet herbs and clean air. He sat up slowly. His body still ached from the crash, but he felt better than yesterday. The drink Kayla gave him had helped him sleep deeply. As he looked around, the door opened. Kayla entered carrying a small wooden tray with fruits and something that looked like bread. "You sleep good?" she asked, smiling softly. Leo nodded. "Yes, thank you." She placed the tray down and sat beside him. "You rest more. Body still weak." Leo picked up one of the fruits. It looked like a glowing pear, but it was soft and juicy. The taste was sweet and sour, refreshing. "Kayla," Leo said after a moment, "why did your people lose all the men?" Kayla's face became serious. She looked down. Many cycles ago, a sickness came. Not natural. Maybe from sky. First, only men became sick. Then they all died. No cure. Leo's eyes widened. "No cure at all?" Kayla shook her head. "We tried. Science, healing, old ways, nothing worked. Men became weak, then gone." There was silence for a moment. "We survived. All women. Learned to live. Grew strong." Kayla continued. "But no more children, no more family, just us." Leo frowned. "Then how are you still here?" Kayla smiled sadly. "We found ways. Science kept us alive. Cloning, birth pods. But not same. Not full life." Leo nodded slowly. Now he understood why his presence shocked them. To them, he was not just a visitor. He was something they had thought was gone forever. "Why haven't you contacted Earth or the galaxy?" Leo asked. Kayla looked confused. "After sickness we closed world, no signals, no ships in, no ships out. Sky is watched." Leo looked toward the window. "But I fell through by accident." "Yes," Kayla said. "Maybe. It is time. Maybe Sky chose you." A knock came at the door. Another alien woman entered and spoke quickly in their language. Kayla stood up and turned to Leo. "Council wants you now." Leo followed Kayla through the village. The buildings were shaped like shells, flowers, and stones. The people moved quietly but stared as he passed. Some looked at him with wonder. Others looked at him with fear. At the council chamber, he stood before the same leader he saw yesterday. Her name was Sarana. She sat with 5 other elders, each wise and tall, wearing robes of soft green and silver. Kayla stood beside Leo as his voice. Sarana looked at him. "You are awake. That is good." Leo nodded. "Yes, thank you for helping me." Sarana spoke slowly. "We need to know. Are there others like you? Will more come?" Leo shook his head. "I was alone. My ship crashed. I don't know if anyone else is coming," the council whispered among themselves. Then Serana asked, "Can you help us?" Leo was confused. "Help you how?" Kayla turned to him and explained. "Many machines are broken. Old power fading. You know machines. You can fix." Leo thought for a moment. He was trained in basic engineering and survival. Maybe he could help. "I'll try," he said. "Show me." Kyla took him to a place outside the village where old machines were half buried in vines. Some looked like large engines. Others were towers with cracked crystals on top. "This was our energy field," Kyla said. "Now weak." Leo examined the panels, the circuits, and the crystal cores. They were advanced, but not beyond understanding. With the right tools, he could fix at least part of the system. "I'll need some parts from my ship," he said. Kayla nodded. "We go now." They returned to the crash site. Smoke no longer rose from the wreck, but the damage was still clear. Leo climbed into the broken craft and pulled out tools, wires, and a portable scanner. As they worked, Kayla kept watching him. "You are not afraid," she said. Leo smiled. "I've trained for many things, crashes too." Kayla tilted her head. "You smile often. Our people forget to smile." Leo looked at her. "Why?" She shrugged. "Many cycles of survival. No joy, only duty." Leo paused. "Then maybe it's time to change that." They smiled at each other. Back in the village, Leo worked late into the night. He reconnected energy lines, replaced old parts with pieces from his ship, and adjusted the crystal settings. Finally, the lights across the village flickered, then glowed steadily. A soft hum filled the air. Alien women gathered, gasping in surprise. Kayla whispered, "You fixed it." Leo nodded, wiping sweat from his brow. "Just needed a little spark." Serana and the council approached. For the first time, the elder smiled. "You are not just visitor, you are hope." Leo looked around at the faces watching him. He didn't feel like a hero, but he had done something good, and he knew this was just the beginning. The next few days passed quickly for Leo. Every morning he woke up in his new room and found Kayla waiting for him with food, tools, and a list of things that needed fixing. The village had many old machines that had stopped working over the years. With Leo's help, lights returned, water pumps flowed again, and the food storage system started working better. The villagers began to smile more. Wherever Leo walked, eyes followed him, but now with warmth and curiosity instead of fear. Some alien women even offered him small gifts, a carved stone, a hand-woven cloth, or a glowing flower from their garden. Leo felt proud, but he also noticed something else. Not everyone was happy. One day, while fixing a communication tower near the village wall, he saw a tall alien woman watching him with a cold expression. She wore darker armor and carried a heavy staff. "That's Thalja," Kayla said quietly, beside him. "She is one of the warriors. She doesn't trust you." Leo wiped sweat from his face. "Why not?" "She lost her family long ago. She thinks outsiders bring danger." Leo nodded. He understood. Not everyone would trust a stranger, especially not after losing so much. Later that evening, the village council called for a meeting. This time, it was held in the large open circle at the center of the village. A soft fire burned in the middle, and glowing stones lit up the ground. Many villagers sat around the circle. Kyla sat beside Leo. Thalja stood near the fire, arms crossed. Serana, the elder leader, stood and raised her voice. "Leo has helped us. He brought light back. But we must ask, can he be one of us?" the crowd murmured. Some nodded. Others looked uncertain. Thalja stepped forward. "I challenge the stranger," she said firmly. "Let him face our trial of worth." Gasps spread through the crowd. Kayla stood up quickly. "No, he is not one of us. He is not trained for our ways." Thalja's eyes narrowed. "Then he has no place here." Serana raised her hand. "Peace. Let Leo choose." Leo looked around. He could feel the tension. Some wanted him gone. Others were afraid of change. But deep down, he knew he needed to earn their full trust. He stepped forward. I accept the trial. Kayla grabbed his arm. You don't have to do this. Leo looked into her eyes. Yes, I do. I came from the sky, but I want to help your world. I want to be more than a visitor. Serana nodded slowly. Then tomorrow, the trial begins. The next day, Leo stood at the edge of a steep canyon. Kayla adjusted the small shoulder pack she had prepared for him. Inside were some supplies: water, dried fruit, a small light, and a stone knife. The trial is simple, Kayla said softly. You must travel to the crystal cave on the far side of the canyon. Bring back a piece of the sky stone. Leo looked at the winding path ahead. Sharp rocks, deep drops, and strange sounds from the shadows. Nothing about this looked simple. Anything else I should know? He asked. Kayla hesitated. Creatures live there, old and hungry ones, be careful. Leo smiled. Great, just what I needed. Kayla gave him something else, a necklace. It was made of a soft vine and had a small, round stone in the center. Protection, she whispered. I believe in you. Leo nodded. Then he began his journey. The canyon path was dangerous. Loose rocks slipped under his boots. Strange vines moved slightly when he passed them. Once he heard a roar in the distance and hid behind a stone until it faded. After hours of walking, he reached the mouth of the crystal cave. The entrance glowed with a soft blue light. Inside, crystals grew along the walls, humming faintly. He stepped inside carefully. Suddenly, a loud growl echoed through the cave. A large creature with 6 legs and glowing red eyes stepped into view. Its skin was like stone and it moved fast. Leo backed away slowly. He reached into his pack and grabbed the stone knife. But before he could do anything, someone jumped from the shadows. A tall figure with a staff. It was Kayla. She swung her staff and hit the creature's leg. The beast roared and turned to her. Leo jumped in and struck with the knife, aiming at a soft spot behind its neck. Together, they fought until the beast limped away into the dark. Breathing heavily, Leo looked at Kayla. You followed me? She nodded. I couldn't let you face this alone. Leo smiled. I'm glad you didn't. They found the sky stone deeper in the cave, glowing softly. Leo broke off a small piece and held it up. Let's go home. When they returned to the village, everyone waited in silence. Leo stepped into the circle and held up the crystal. I did it, he said simply. The crowd cheered. Even Thalja stepped forward, her face calm. You have strength, she said. And heart. Serana smiled. You are one of us now. Leo looked around at the cheering faces, then at Kayla, who stood proudly beside him. He had crashed here by accident, but now he was part of something bigger. The village celebrated through the night. Fires were lit, music echoed, and the women danced in circles under the twin moons. For the first time in many years, laughter filled the air. Leo sat near the main fire, tired but happy. Children sat around him, asking questions about Earth, spaceships, and the stars. He answered as best he could, drawing pictures in the dirt to show what mountains looked like, or how rain fell in long silver lines. Kayla sat beside him, her smile never fading. You brought joy, she said. They forgot how to smile before you. Leo laughed. All I did was fix some machines and fight a cave monster. Kayla shook her head. You did more. You gave hope. As the night grew quiet, the village elders gathered once again. Serana stood, her voice strong. Leo, she said, you have earned our trust. You repaired our systems, faced the trial, and brought back the Sky Stone. Now we ask you, will you stay with us? Leo sat still. Stay. He hadn't thought about the future. He had come here by accident. He had only wanted to survive. But now, this planet, this village, it felt like home. Kayla looked at him, her eyes gentle. You are free to choose. Leo looked around. So many faces watched him. Women who had lived for years with no man, no true family, only memories and survival. Now they looked at him with hope, not fear, not doubt. But before he could speak, a loud beep came from the device on his wrist. His ship's beacon. Leo's eyes widened. He pressed a button, and a message appeared in glowing letters. Signal received. Rescue ship en route. Arrival in 2 days. Everyone looked at him in silence. Kayla leaned closer. What is it? Leo showed her the message. My people. They found me. A rescue ship is coming. A heavy silence followed. Serana stepped forward. Then your time here may end soon. Leo nodded slowly. Maybe. He stood and walked away from the fire. The stars above looked different now. So many choices, so many emotions. Kayla followed him. You want to leave? She asked softly. I don't know, Leo replied. This place, it's amazing. You're amazing. But Earth is my home. Kayla looked up at the stars. Before you came, I never thought of bonding with someone from another world. But now, she paused. I don't want to lose you, Leo. Leo turned to face her. And I don't want to hurt you. That's the last thing I want. She stepped closer and held his hand. Then don't go, stay. He looked into her eyes. The firelight reflected in them like stars. The next morning, the village felt quieter. Everyone knew about the rescue ship. Some were hopeful for him, but others were afraid they would lose what he brought to their lives. Leo worked alone in the garden fixing a water line when Thalja approached him. She stood tall and serious. You changed things here. That is clear. Leo nodded. I didn't mean to change anything, I just wanted to help. Thalja studied him for a moment. That's why you matter. You help without asking anything in return. She pulled something from her belt, a small pendant made of metal and crystal. This is warrior gift, she said, given only to one who earns it. Leo took it carefully. Thank you, Thalja. That means a lot. She gave a small nod. If you leave, we will understand. But if you stay, we will protect you as one of our own. Later, Leo visited the council again. He had questions. Why didn't you ever try to contact other worlds after the sickness? He asked. Serana answered. We feared others would reject us, or bring war. We became strong alone, but we forgot how to hope. Leo thought for a moment. If my people come, what will you do? We will speak with them, Serana replied. If you choose to leave, we will let you go. If you choose to stay, we will welcome you fully. That night, Leo and Kayla sat by the river. The ship comes tomorrow, he said quietly. Kayla didn't respond at first. Then she said, If you leave, I'll understand. But I hope you choose me. Leo looked at her. I didn't expect to care so much about this world. About you. Kayla smiled, but there was sadness in her eyes. Sometimes the stars bring us what we don't expect. He reached out and held her hand. I have a big decision to make, he whispered. She nodded. Whatever you choose. I'm glad I met you. As the stars above shone brightly, Leo knew tomorrow would decide everything, his home or his heart. Morning arrived quietly. The sky above the village was clear, painted in soft pink and orange. Birds chirped, and a light wind moved the leaves. But everyone felt the tension. Today, the rescue ship would arrive. Leo stood at the top of a hill, looking at the horizon. His mind was full of thoughts. Earth was waiting. His people, his world, everything he once knew. It was coming back. But behind him, the village waited too, with new faces, new feelings, and a life he never expected to find. Kayla walked up the hill beside him. She didn't speak at first. She just stood beside him and looked into the sky. They will come soon, she said softly. Leo nodded. Yes. They stood in silence. Finally, he said, I don't know what to do. Kayla looked at him. Then, let your heart decide. Leo closed his eyes for a moment. He remembered the crash, the fear, the unknown world. He remembered Kayla's kindness, the children's laughter, the way the village had changed. He also remembered Earth, his home, his past, his mission. He turned to her. "If I stay, it means leaving everything behind." Kayla nodded. "And if you go, it means losing something new." Just then, a loud sound filled the sky. A ship appeared above the clouds, sleek, silver, and glowing with lights. It slowly lowered itself into a clearing not far from the village. The rescue team had arrived. The whole village came to see. Women stood in rows, watching the strange ship land. The hatch opened, and a group of humans in white and blue uniforms stepped out. Their eyes widened when they saw Leo walking toward them, followed by tall alien women. "Leo Carter?" the team leader asked. Leo nodded. "Yes, I'm here. We received your signal. We're here to bring you home." Leo looked back at the village. Kayla stood near the edge, her face calm but her eyes full of emotion. Sarana, the elder, walked forward and greeted the humans politely. She explained who they were and why their world had been silent for so long. The rescue team was amazed. They had never seen a planet like this, filled only with women, with technology mixed into nature, and one human in the middle of it all. Leo spoke with the team privately. He answered questions, told them about the crash, about the sickness that had wiped out the men, and how the village had survived. Finally, the leader said, "You've done well, Leo. The galaxy needs stories like this. Let's get you home." Leo looked at the open ship. The steps waited for him, but he didn't move. He turned and walked back to Kayla. "I have one last question," he said to her. "If I stayed, what would my place be?" Kayla stepped closer. "You would not be worshipped. You would not be locked away. You would live with us, work with us, grow with us as one of us. And maybe more." Leo looked down at the necklace she had given him earlier. He had worn it every day. It reminded him of his place here, not as a hero, but as someone who mattered. He smiled. Then he turned back to the team. "Tell Earth I'm alive. Tell them I'm safe, but I'm staying." The leader looked shocked. "Are you sure?" Leo nodded. "I found something here I never expected. A reason to stay, a reason to build something new." The humans respected his decision. They gave him a small communication device and promised to send supplies in the future. Then they boarded their ship and left, disappearing into the sky. The village watched the ship vanish. Then all eyes turned to Leo. He walked back slowly, but there was no doubt in his step. Kayla met him halfway. "You stayed." Leo smiled. "I chose you. I chose this world." She took his hand. "Then we build together." Months passed. Leo became part of the village. He worked on machines, helped build new homes, and taught what he knew about Earth science. The children loved his stories. The elders respected his ideas. The warriors accepted him as one of their own. Kayla and Leo grew close. Their bond was not just based on thanks or admiration, it was real, built on shared effort and quiet care. Together, they worked to make the village stronger. They taught others to smile again. And slowly, the people of the planet began to believe in a future that wasn't just survival, but full of hope, love, and possibility. One evening, as the stars filled the sky, Leo stood beside Kayla near the same hill where the rescue ship once landed. "This planet feels like home now," he said. Kayla smiled. "Because you made it that way." He wrapped his arm around her shoulder. "I thought I was lost when I crashed here." "And now?" she asked. "Now," he said softly, "I know I was meant to find this place." She leaned against him. "And we were meant to find you." The stars above glowed silently, watching a new story unfold on a world once forgotten. And now, with one human's choice, it had a future again.